questions and comments about services here. I'm going to wrap them into one for you folks. They have to do with the degradation of services that people perceive related to the condition of the roads, the condition of the water system, the condition of their garbage pickup, whether or not their Christmas trees ought to be hauled off. So I will leave it there and ask you to address services and infrastructure within the city of Globe. Where do we go and how do we...
Sewer and garbage and water. So those are the things that we absolutely have to provide. A lot of the other things are, we get to them and do the best that we can. I know that our roads are in horrible condition, but we lost over $2.2 million in the last 2 years just in revenue that normally comes in. And so we did everything we could. We basically said, whatever has to be fixed is going to get fixed. Everything else is just going to have to go, has to wait. The cities do not have the luxury of running deficits. We have to have a balanced budget. Luckily, we had a little bit of money in our rainy day fund. We've had the worst recession since 1933. It doesn't get much rainier than that. We're doing the very best that we can.
Thank you. Mr. Wheeler?
Fernando started out telling what our mandates are, and they're safety, police and fire, water, sewer, and in some places we don't have sewer, but we're trying to get it there, and streets. The garbage, we had, this is one of the things that I'm running on, is the fact that we've outsourced our garbage collection. The people weren't happy with the deal, and I'm not really happy with the results. And I really think that we need to bring it back in-house again and put those people back together. There is a recycling component, a part of that needs to be done. We need to do that here in Globe, in Miami, and if we want to save the landfill, it's all our landfill. We need to do a recycling deal here in our area, maybe through EDC, and that'll really mean something.
Thank you, Mr. Wheeler.
Anyway.
Okay. Carmen Casillas, infrastructure and services.
Yes, thank you. I believe the two gentlemen before me gave a great explanation, but I can say that personally, I am always harping about the roads. I want to see the list. I want to know what project has been done, because I have several roads that I want done. So I'm always harping. I always want to see that list. Our infrastructure is horrible, because especially in our Euclid area, it's an old system. And so I do know that in working with Leon Kahns, where he was testing some different pipe to make sure that it lasted longer, it was stronger and yet less expensive. So we are looking at a lot of things. Yes, we did, you know, we were in a horrible recession, and as I said, we have to fix the most important things first, but I can guarantee that the roads are a high priority on my list, along with the infrastructure. And because once again, we're here.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you. Mr. Hill.
Well, I think that it would be logical for the council to get together and reevaluate what priorities we have regarding the city's infrastructure, and what services that we can economically provide and what services we cannot. You know, I'm not ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater and instantly get rid of this vendor that's doing our trash service. The only reason is because maybe the bottom line may be beneficial to you and I don't realize it. Just because I have some constituents that may be upset about the size of the trash cans doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a good deal still for them and for me. I do notice that the town's quite a bit cleaner than it used to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mariscal.
This is probably one of the more difficult questions I think that's been posed so far, and it is one that is not an easy answer. Right now we are currently having a very tough time economically. The state's cutting funding to the various cities, and they're asking the cities to do more with less. The county, the same thing, state, same thing, federal government. We do have some serious problems. My community, my district, some of the roads are terrible. I mean, they're really, truly just terrible. And I have made complaints about the roads and so forth. But that just falls onto the priorities of the council. You have to make some choices. You have to figure out what is it that we need done right now. What are the priorities? And so we have to focus on those priorities and keep focused on those priorities, not go around to various other, you know, we can do this, let's do this. No, let's focus on one thing, attack it, and get it done. That's what I think.
Thank you very much. Theo.
Infrastructure is one of the kind of three big pushes that I have as far as rerunning. I want to thank Terry and Stan and Mickey who have worked on our water bonds and water committees, because I think that our water and sewer infrastructure has got to be the next big priority for this community. We've got 80 and 100-year-old pipes running through the middle of Broad Street that could collapse. And I think while roads are important, if you can't turn on water in your house and you can't flush your toilet, we've got public health problems. We've got issues that we have to address. And I'm really proud of our Public Works Department that took the council's directive to go forward with the GIS mapping so we know where our pipes are. Right now, or in the past, it was in the minds of the Public Works employees. Smart, intelligent people, but hard for everyone else to follow. So we're mapping that now so we can better care for it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gillette?
Infrastructure. In times when times are hard, infrastructure needs to be taken care of. Right now, our city is constantly outsourcing our public services. If we're going to constantly outsource our public services, we're not going to have people employed within the city. Therefore, we degrade commerce and tax dollars. We need to rebuild our infrastructure with people inside the city and bring tax dollars and commerce back to the city. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I believe that is a complete round, again, without a fumble on my part. Am I right?
No.